Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Runes. So today we're going to do a little old school. We're going to go Magic the Gathering top 10 Icatian cards. So now at number 10. So at number 10, we have Icatian Money Changer from Fallen Empires. It's a common going for a whopping 17 cents on the market. Costs 1 for the 0-2. It says Money Changer deals 3 damage to you when summoned. Okay. But it does say put 3 credit counters on it to use at any time during your upkeep. And you may put 1 counter on it. 0, sacrifice to gain 1 life for each counter on it. So it does really good. But the reason why it's at number 10 is because it can be easily destroyed. Very easily. So let's move on to number 9. Now we have Icatian Crier from Ultimate Masters of Time Spiral. So that's right. It's not from Fallen Empires. This is the one card that is not. But I still wanted to pursue this because the group of people from Fallen Empires I thought would be fun and interesting. So this, as you can see, is a common. It's a 3 cents and it costs 3 mana for a 1/1. But the ability is it costs 2. Discard a card. Put 2 1/1 white citizen creature tokens to play. Tapping, costing a lot, discard. It's not that great. So this is why it's at number 9, even though it is one of the only non-Fallen Empire cards. So let's move on to number 8. And now we have the Scout one, which is actually from 5th edition or Fallen Empires, which you'll see from 5th edition did reprint a lot of Fallen Empire cards. This one being a common, giving it 14 cents on the market. Costs 1 for a 1/1, which is pretty standard, but it costs 1 tap, so it's colorless at least. Target creature gains first strike until end of turn. So that is actually pretty good, even though it does cost 1 to tap it. First strike can really stop a deck if you choose to give it while you're attacking. So let's move on to number 7. And well, I'm going to go really old school. We got the Phalanx. It's from 5th edition or Fallen Empires as well. It's an uncommon going for 17 cents. Now, it may not seem much, but back in the day, this was a really cool ability. It has banding, so you decide where the damage goes. And it's a 2/4 for 5 mana. That's right, 5 mana for this 2/4 with banding. Man, times have definitely changed. But nevertheless, banding does make a big difference. So let's move on to number 6. Well, we got the Icatian Priest from various sets. It's an uncommon for, well, just 10 cents on the market. 1 for a 1/1. Alright. This cleric costs, well, 3. Target creature gets +1/+1 until end of turn. But it has no tapping ability, so if you have a lot of planes or various other colors, you can pump it up over and over again. And that's why it's at number 6, because it doesn't have the tapping ability for this card. So let's move on to number 5. With this being halfway down our list, is we got Icatian Town from various sets. It's a rare. That's right, for 31 cents. And it costs 6 mana for this sorcery. It says put 4 citizen tokens into play. Treat these tokens as 1/1 white creatures. Now, the reason why I put it at number 5 is, well, it does cost 6 mana, but it says put 4 citizen tokens. And that is actually not common more than putting 3. So this one actually has 4. Maybe you can have fun with it, and that's why it's at number 5. Is just the versatility of these tokens which you can play around with. So let's move on to number 4. Well, we have the Infantry one from Fallen Empires, so it didn't get back into any other 5th edition versions or whatever. It's a common going for 15 cents on the market. And again, this one costs 1 for a 1/1, but it has the ability of banding and first strike. Again, with banding doesn't really exist anymore. Maybe they'll bring it back, who knows. And that's quite simply, that's all it is. So you can do that over and over again for if you choose to. So let's move on to number 3. And well, we have the Skirmishers from Fallen Empires. It's a rare going for 89 cents on the market. Well, this one costs 4 mana for a 1/1. Already, I'm not impressed with it. But it does have bans and first strike, which doesn't cost anything. And all creatures that ban with Skirmishers to attack gain first strike until end of turn. So it's not just targeting soldiers or anything, it's all creatures. So that is actually, I think, pretty cool ability, especially for back in the day, but not so much nowadays. So let's move on to number 2. Well, in this one, we got the Lieutenant from Fallen Empires. It's a rare, and that's right, $1.10. Can you believe it? We actually have something worth more than $1. Well, it costs 2 for this one too, and it says target soldier gets +1/0 until end of turn with no tapping ability. And that's why you can see it's so expensive, because it costs 2 to only bring this rare into play. But we got to move on to number 1. And that's right, we got the Icatian store. And as you guys know, I just love Fallen Empire lands. I can't get enough of them. They're so underrated. So this one is from 5th edition Fallen Empires. As expected, it's a rare. Going for, that's right, 55 cents. It's just funny. So it comes into play tapped. It says you may not choose not to untap it during your untap phase. Instead, put a storage counter on. Then you can tap it and remove any number of storage counters. For that, add each white mana. So it's kind of like holding your mana in play for you. And I think that is actually really cool if the land does not get destroyed. But again, we are talking about the top 10 Icatian, and there's not much more you would expect from these cards. So I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope you guys have a good day and a good evening.